it was kind of fun. We were right to talk about it so much.
It was a lot of fun, and it did not disappoint from the start. I mean, you felt the energy. The crowd was rocking. The atmosphere was unbelievable. And I kept having sort of a thought for Frances Tiafoe a little bit more than anybody else, because this had to have been a pinnacle for him. I mean, how was he handling this moment?
Yeah.
But what a spectacular match to be able to watch live if you were in that stadium.
Yep.
Yeah, over 14,000 went there. They set a record. Not surprising, because you're never going to get to see this again. Neither of them are signing up for mixed doubles at Grand Slam. So this the absolute perfect opportunity for anyone to get to see the two greatest players of this generation, possibly of any generation in tennis. So absolutely thrilling to get to see.
And if you weren't able to watch it because it was early this morning back in the States, we have an encore presentation at the top of the hour before we get to all of the live tennis that we're going to be showing you from around planet Earth today. But first, let's talk about the opening match at the Hopman Cup. Roger Federer taking on the 20-year-old Frances Tiafoe. Roger he looked pretty relaxed out there, didn't he, James?
He seems to always look relaxed, doesn't he? But yeah, he looked good. It doesn't seem like there's any rust from the time off, from the break. That forehand is still moving so well, so quickly through the court. There's talk of it being a little bit slower there, but he's able to still dictate with that forehand. And this, to me, reminds me of the Roger of old a little bit, with that short slice, bringing Frances in, not as comfortable moving forward, and then able to hit the beautiful forehand pass. We get to match point relatively comfortably for Roger today. He's had a couple comfortable ones over Cam Norrie early, and now over Frances Tiafoe.
So he moves up and gives Switzerland a 1-love lead. 3 matches, keep in mind. The second match, after Roger took in all of his applause, was between this woman, Belinda Bencic, and Serena Williams, Chanda.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure on Serena coming in down 1 match. She lost the first set. Bencic playing very solid tennis, was quick off the ball. But this point had to have been the point of the match. This little touch volley off the shoelaces from Serena. Bencic cannot control herself. Look at it again. The backspin on this ball. It actually bounces and comes back over. So that explains why Bencic was bent over the net. But it was a fun point, and they had a lot of them in this match, both players. But in the end, it was Serena. Was able to turn the momentum with that little volley, and here, that angle, she started finding her rhythm again. The movement looked good, and this on match point. And this ball, in the end, from Bencic, sails just long. She's not quite believing it. She needs confirmation.
Serena is shocked that she's going to challenge this. This was pretty far out. Anyway, the match did end, and Serena spoke about looking forward to the mixed after the singles.
It's super exciting. It's actually super exciting for me, and I just feel honored to be on the same court with him. And he's had a fantastic career, and it's still going, and we're the exact same age. So, whatever he does, I'm trying to do the same thing. And I'm like, he's not done, I'm not done. So, I want to. We've been there since the '90s, to be honest, and so it's really cool to actually be on the same court. We've never done it, and regardless what happens, this is a moment that I will always cherish.
And then they did do it. And what's interesting is the mixed doubles was going to decide who moves along, whether it's Switzerland or the U.S. Roger had to explain the fast 4 scoring in the mix because Serena had not played it. It's first of 4 games and the deciding point at 3-all. So this thing happened in a hurry, didn't it?
Very quickly, and it's a different format that you have to get used to. It's changed the format of Hopman Cup over the years, and certainly with Roger and Belinda Bencic, they're a little more used to it. They played together under this format.
This was the first point.
Start of the match.
It takes them a while to get going, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Now, Roger doesn't look 37 there.
No.
This ball almost landed in.
One of the more underrated parts of his game. I feel like he hasn't gotten enough credit. He gets credit for just about everything else, but for his movement, playing defense, he's unbelievable. Almost makes this one. Almost makes a tricky shot for Tiafoe, but just sails long.
Roger said he wanted to feel what it was like to return Serena's serve. She did some nice serving.
Yeah, she's got one of the best serves in the game in women's tennis, and she used that angled serve very nicely, but it was the Swiss team that was able to take the first set. And in the second set, Tiafoe just trying to stay on his feet here.
Yeah, gets the Purple Heart. That one hits him right in the chest there. Might have a little imprint of the Dunlop logo for a while, right above the Nike logo. got him pretty clean on that one. But all in good fun. They were all smiles right after, but
As long as you apologize afterwards, it's okay.
then just a couple games later, he gets his revenge, though. And both of these are completely unintentional as they're able to smile about it. Francis.
I think Francis got the better hit, though. A shot to the head
got
is
the
no
head
joke.
shot, yeah. In the side of the head, that's going to sting a little bit. Luckily, it was pretty much just a reflex volley. It didn't have as much pace on it, but still going to sting a little. And Serena getting her winner against Roger, taking it up his line. Got to feel good about that.
Yeah, it came down to the decider in this second set, and it's just a treat that all of these players gave to the fans. In the end, the Swiss team just edging the American team out.
Largest attendance in the 31-year history of Hopman Cup. More than 16,000 people going nuts for what Roger Federer and Serena Williams brought to this court and brought against each other. Afterwards, they both spoke with Todd Woodbridge.
No, it was so fun, and this is, like I said before, it's something that, as growing up and as we grew up together, really just watching and having an opportunity after all these years, we've actually never done this. So this is super cool that we get to do it at such a pinnacle point in both our careers. And for me, it was super cool. Like, I literally wanted to take pictures, and I want to bring my baby out. I'm way too excited. But it was really fun.
Roger, what stood out for you about coming up against Serena in her game?
Well, I was nervous returning because you just don't know. People talk about her serve so much, and I see why it is such a wonderful serve, because you just can't read it. You don't see until the very...
I can't read yours either.
Well, we have the same qualities, but yours is a bit better, but no, it's true. But anyway, for me, it was a bit nerve-wracking too, to be honest, because all of a sudden you're serving, especially the last serve at 3-all, I'm like, I gotta win this point, but it's Serena Williams, I was telling myself, and I was telling myself, this is maybe what I've always wanted, maybe a big-time moment like this, and I made the serve, but I actually totally missed the target, and thank you for missing the ball. But it was a great fun, and yeah, great champion. You see how focused and determined she is, and I love that about her.
And then what... Ladies and gentlemen, while these two champions take in this moment for themselves, would you put your hands together one more time for Serena Williams and Roger Federer?
How great is that it ends with a nice cheesy selfie? You just have to love that.
I read where someone say it's the greatest selfie of all time.
Yeah.
I kind of believe that. That works.
Should be. I love seeing Serena get giggly and happy and smiling in that interview. And there's obviously so much respect between the two of them.
Yes.
And Roger saying all the similarities and even giving her credit for having a better serve, which I might agree with. But it's fun to see them having such a good time and so much.